Hello, today we'll be solving exercise 2.3 Fibonacci. The Fibonacci numbers are a sequence of integers in which the first two elements are 1, and each of the following elements is the sum of the two preceding elements. The mathematical definition of each kth Fibonacci number is the following. It's over here. And then the first 12 Fibonacci numbers are 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34, 55, 89, and 144. Write a piece of code that uses a for loop to compute and print the first 12 Fibonacci numbers. You may include other code, such as declaring variables before the loop if you like. So that's exactly what I did over here. I created two variables, one called v1 and one called v2, both of which are 1 because the first two elements are 1. And then after I created a for loop that loops over 12 times because there are 12 Fibonacci numbers we need to output. Then first we go ahead and print out v1. So in this code, v1 will be the number that we were going to be outputting. So v1 will eventually turn to 1, and then 2, 3, 5, 8, and so on and so forth. And that is where our third variable v3 comes in. So v3 will be the placeholder for adding v1 and v2, because as you can see, the Fibonacci numbers they first start out with 1, and each of the following element is a sum of the two preceding elements. So that is what v3 is. And then v1 will now get v2, and then v2 will now get v3. So to make it more clear, I'll be writing out what happens at each loop. So the first loop, well, v1 and v2 are both at 1, and I is at 0. And the first thing you want to do is print out v1, which is 1. Then v3 comes into play, and you're adding v1 and v2. So it would have a 2. And now v1 becomes v2, and v2 is 1. So it just becomes 1 again, and v2 now becomes v3. So 2. And then I changes to 1. And for the next for loop, the second time, you're printing out v1 again, but because v1 is 1, you're printing out 1 again. v3 is v1 plus v2, so 3. And now v1 is v2, so 2 and 3. So I think you see the pattern that's going on here. I turns to 2, print out 2, you're adding these two, so 5, and then this turns to 3 and 5. And so on and so forth until you reach 144, because that is how much I is going up to. And after it reaches 11, which means that it would have repeated 12 times because you start at 0, and the for loop will break. Yeah, then that is basically the whole code. And if I clear all the drawings and submit, oh, what we did wrong here is we put an ln. So it created a new line for every input. But because they are all on the same line, we want to just put print. And then everything is correct. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.